Let's talk about tarp accessories. Now, I'll link up the other video, but as you notice, I have two tarps. One in multicam, one in woodland. Now, you're going to need some things if you're going to have a tarp. I call them tarp accessories. But you will have to decide what you want or need. Now, I carry a couple different type of stakes. And they're all inside this bag here. I carry these. These are off a private guy. They're not off Amazon. As you can see, they're quite long, as the normal stake is not as long. These are pretty long too. I like to use a long stake because they can actually stay in. So I carry both of these. I carry quite a few. They come in handy for many different setups when you set up tarps, tents. And they pretty much ride on the right side of my pack in case I need them. Now I carry a form of bank line, and on these I have like a hook clip, as you can see, because on my tarp I keep a bungee cord tied to all the loops, so it's got some flex. So literally this connects to the stake, and then this hook actually hooks to the bungee cord, and then I can adjust it however I want. No knots, very quick, easy. I also carry a ridge line in here, is what I have, which has two pressic knots. So I can run the ridge line under the tarp, I can run on top of the tarp, and then I can use the pressic knots to tighten the tarp or move it back and forth, up and down. So this bag here carries all the lines. The other thing I carry, and right now, is a Chucky ball. Now, you get two of these. I haven't set the other one up because I came in today. And that's a Chucky ball. Basically, it's for playing with dogs. But you'll see I cut a hole in it. Okay? And it literally goes both ways. The Chucky ball, and I need to cut the other one yet, allows me to go cut a stick in the bush. And if the stick has a point on it, or it looks like it'll cut into my tarp, I can simply slide that over top of the point and then press it up into my tarp. It has a little bit more cushioning here. You can also use a tennis ball, but tennis balls have hair and they slip a little bit, where the Chucky ball doesn't slip as bad. I would say this is better. This is a pain to cut that in. I literally took my knife, and I had this in a vise, and I pushed my knife down, and I went up and pushed it down. I mean, it took me about half an hour just to cut that. And you have to be very careful when you're doing that so you don't cut yourself. So keep that in mind. And the packaging will look something like that. Okay, Chucky Ultra. Again, I'll have a link in the bottom of Amazon when you can check it out. Now, I do have a bunch of these. They're not great. They're pretty cheap. They're little tiny carabiners. And the spring isn't all that good. But they were super cheap, is what they were. These can come in handy if you want to put them around your tarp and then run your line. And then wherever you're going, to another tree or whatever. So they do have their purpose. I doubt I'll use them that often, but it's better than having nothing. I also carry two other carabiners that are a little more high-end in case I need them. And again, I'll have the link in the bottom. You can check it out. But these are a real cheap one, is what they are. Last but not least, I have this gadget. Now this is made by Siri. It's a P326 monopod, and it's made out of carbon fiber. I don't know, it's probably just a pound or so. It's extremely light, which allows me to basically expand that any way I want, is what that allows. Now this is a walking stick I use. Some people use, what do you call it? Trekking poles. I don't use those. And I bought the top. So the top, as you can see, is round. Okay. Which just screws on. This was super cheap. This was like, I don't know, 12 bucks. Has a compass in it. Compass is garbage. I only wanted it because it was round on top, and that's very important. So basically, this monopod, I can either use it as a walking stick, or I can keep it inside of my pack, and which is pretty strong. Okay, so if you think about it, I can get any length I want. So let's say I run my ridgeline, I run my tarp, and then I got my stakes in the back. Okay, and I want to bring the tarp up a little bit more in porch mode. Now I need 2 sticks to go on each side, which these would come in handy. Or I could run just this in the center because it's got that round ball. I could go up underneath the tarp and push it up that way. The other way, I could go into plow mode, okay, which you've seen in my other video I made. I'll link it up. And it's very short, as you can see, you know. So I could go into plow mode, and now as I get further back underneath the tarp, and because it's got this round ball, I can go under the tarp and push up, and creating more room inside the tarp itself is what I can do. So that's really impressive. So this is used to walk in. It's used to hold up the tarp. It has a lot of different multi-purposes what it has. Push came to shove, you could use it as a club, you know, if it's extended, and hit something over the head with that. And that's made of aluminum, by the way. Hit something over the head with that, you'll definitely have a heck of a weapon there. So this thing's pretty good. I've had this back, I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't know what they go for now. I'll see if I can find it and put a link to it. But this is what I use. So these tarp accessories complete the tarp and complete your home and really give you a lot of options. Now, you could just go with the ropes that I've got. You know, you don't have to go with the clips. You definitely need stakes. You could make your own stakes. You really want to get fancy. But everything I've got is to make things very quick. Okay, so I'm traveling. It's raining. It's pouring. I've got my GI raincoat on, and I want to get it set up quickly. So I'm going to run my ridge line between one tree and another tree, and then I'm going to get under the tarp. And now I'm going to take my pack off under the tarp, so now my pack is staying dry. I'm going to run these, my stakes, across the back of the tarp and stretch it out. And now I'm going to stretch out the other side, probably making a teepee if it's raining pretty hard. If it starts sprinkling, then take the one side and lift it up into porch mode, allowing me to relax more. Kick back in my chair, have something to eat, maybe a coffee, and have a little bit more room and a little bit more space around me. So comfort is the key. Now, compared to running my Dan Durston tent, which is fine, and it is lighter because my Dan Durston tent's 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds. I mean, but if I end up into a day, and we just had one, that is just raining all day long, me and my dog would be forced to be inside this tent, tiny 2.5 man tent. And then we're stuck in there. That is not my idea of fun. So, by having a tarp that goes in the porch mode, it's more open. So you don't feel so confined, like, you know. And my dog won't feels confined. So I can have my dog on its leash. My dog can go out if he doesn't mind getting wet, or my dog can come in and lay down on the mat. She can kick back. I mean, it just allows us more freedom, is what it does. I can cook a coffee underneath that. I can make a coffee under it, warm it up, but it'll be kind of nice. Now, these have a little bit of weight to them, you know, is what they have. But you need 2 of these in case you ever want to use them. So these are my tarp accessories. This is kind of like my home. Some people may say, oh, that's too much weight. That's fine. You know, I'm not an ultralight backpacker. I could go that way if I wanted to, but I've never wanted to. I like to have just about everything to relax. I have a big medical kit. I have a big sewing kit. I like to be able to relax and enjoy myself when I go out there. So here are some items, links in the bottom if you're considering it. And you may want to pick yourself up some tarp accessories. Catch you guys on the next one.